I just, I am here today to talk to you about abuse and choosing an abusive partner and where it all starts from and why you probably had a hand in choosing that relationship and how you can get out of it. But where it all starts is basically from your family of origin. There's other cases where you didn't have an abusive parent and you choose an abusive relationship, but most of the time it's going to come from a parent, and usually it's a father. My story is going to help shed some light on how you can get out of it and how you can be successful and claim your own inner power and go within and release and become yourself and become happy with yourself and become independent on your own. When you have a parent, especially a father, you're gonna be programmed internally how to put yourself down, how to make other people feel better so that you can keep giving and giving and giving, because that makes you feel safe. After your father has done and your whole life told you what you needed to do and how you needed to do it, and that you were stupid if you didn't, and that you're too sensitive, well, if you are a sensitive person, you are gonna go and you're gonna find the next person, the next guy. He's probably gonna be just like that. It can be two extremes. You'll either choose a guy like your dad, abusive, which in my case, my father was emotionally and verbally and somewhat physically abusive. He was a Marine Vietnam vet, and I was always scared of him. And my mom did her best to try to shield it, but she was submissive, and so she didn't ever try to get away or anything. We just stayed there. My first, second, third, and fourth ex-husbands were all verbally and emotionally abusive. And two of them were somewhat physically abusive. After the first few ex-husbands, which the first one I married when I was 22, the last one I was 45. I kept the same pattern going in my head and in my being this whole time, from programming that I thought that I had to choose a strong, dominant male. It had to be a narcissist. That's what they were. A strong, dominant male that was powerful and tough and badass, but yet could still make me feel scared. It was just like my dad. It's what I knew. So I stayed. None of these marriages were very long, maybe a couple to 3 years. The longest one was my children's father. That one lasted 8 years. And you think everything's your fault. You think you second guess yourself. You think it's you. You don't understand why these things keep happening. But you keep on putting yourself down, letting you be in that situation, losing your joy, losing your life, losing your independence, and losing yourself, basically. And until you can understand that you have a part in choosing these relationships and that you don't have to anymore, you won't be able to step out of it. And what two things that can really help you faster to realize that you have an abusive relationship happening if you're in a partnership, a boyfriend, a husband, or friend. You have to understand the cycle of abuse, and you have to look at it. You can get the cycle of abuse from a counselor, or you can go on Google and just find that. And it's a diagram showing the cycles of abuse. And when you can look at that and you see that your partner is doing that, all of those things and that pattern, then you have to believe that he's an abusive person. And these type of people hardly ever change. And if you think you're going to be able to fix him and that you will be happy, it's going to be a long road of hell, because they will not change unless they want to. And even if they do, it's usually not easy for them, and they have to go through a lot of therapy to do it, and they have to be willing. So you cannot waste your time, your energy, and yourself, and maybe your life on any kind of relationship like this. You are beautiful, and you have a light within you. And if you want to understand how you can get out and how you can be happy, then you have to look at that cycle of abuse. And another very important thing you have to do is you have to imagine your sister or your daughter or one of your best friends going through an abusive relationship like that, and think about, would you allow them to do that? Would you want them in that situation? Or would you have to tell them that they need to get out? What would you do? You wouldn't want them in that situation, if you can think about it. And it's the same with you. It's because you have learned how to tone yourself down and tone your inner voice down. And until you can see that, you're not going to be able to recognize this. But if the indications that it's an abusive relationship are you have lost touch with yourself. You don't feel happy. You feel numb. You feel sad. You don't have any joy. You drink. You smoke. You do drugs. You take prescription medicine, which some prescriptions are fine. But if you do all of these things, you're trying to numb out and you're trying to escape. And a truly successful, beautiful, radiant, fun, loving person would never be in one of these relationships. And you have to choose yourself.